folks? How we doing? This is Who Did You Boycott Today? This is a very, very unexpected broadcast. I did not wake up this morning thinking about doing a broadcast. But working behind the scenes on my computer, doing a lot of tasks that I need to get done. I've been paying attention to what's been going on these social media apps pertaining to Twitter land. Well, first let me start off by saying shout out to the persons that I put in my title: La Farmer, Aeon, and Talent, New Negro Republic. Also, a special shout out to Janet Jackson. I made a room about her a day or two ago, and my thoughts were gathered. And I had to gather my thoughts of what I needed to say to be able to honor Janet Jackson for the bravery that she showed and how she answered the question as to whether or not Kamala Harris is black. So, once again, a special shout out to Janet Jackson. I grew up with the Jackson 5s. That's the clearest memory, one of my most clearest memories is growing up with the Jackson 5s. My childhood memories, my brother told us, it was 7 of us. My brother, the oldest brother, told the rest of the siblings we had to learn 2 things. My brother said very clearly we had to learn 2 things. We had to learn how to dance and we had to learn how to fight. I remember that, and I couldn't understand it when I was a young child, and I heard those words come out of my brother's mouth. You are going to learn. You have 2 things to learn. You have to learn how to dance, and you have to learn how to fight. And when we were growing up, we had dance contests. We would have dance contests, and we would win candy. Whoever won the dance contest would get candy. And, being a young child, that was something that, stuck in the memory, because all kids love candy. And so those Jackson 5s music got my family and me through a lot of hard days. Those earlier days of growing up in the projects. Then we moved from the projects in 1971. But my first 9 years on the earth was in the projects. And my mother, she had music. We had music in the house. We didn't have a whole lot. My mother could barely put clothes on our backs and keep a roof over our head and food on the table. But I remember those precious memory of those dance contests and listening to the Jackson 5s and my sister trying to sing like the Jackson 5s and all of us trying to dance like the Jackson 5s. It was a very, very special time. It was so special. It just warms my heart to think back to those days. No matter how hard things got, we always could turn on the music. No matter how hard a day was, how hard a week was, how hard a month was, we could turn that music on and we could escape. And we escaped the many days to get through the next day and the next day and the next day. It was a lifesaver. No, I can't put it in no other words than that. The music that we grew up on, it was a lifesaver. Many persons may not be able to relate to that. They may not be able to fully comprehend the power of the music that empowered each of us when we walked out the door, when we had to survive another day and another day and another day. That's what we turned to. It was the music. And it's only fitting that it makes sense when you connect the dots. The ancestors sung their songs. They sung their songs, and they sung those songs on those slave plantations day after day, day in and day out. Our ancestors, they sung the songs that got them through day in and day out on those slave plantations. After burnings and lynchings and hangings, they always knew they could sing their songs and they would survive another day with the blessings of the good Lord. They knew they had the blessings of the good Lord to be blessed with another day. And they sung those songs and they made it through another day and another day and another day. And they passed that down. They passed that down to their descendants. So it only makes common sense and it's fitting that when I was blessed into the world, my strongest connection was music. I remember them giving me a nickname called Aqua Boogie. It still makes me laugh to this day because I was a very, very shy person growing up. I was very, very shy. But I remember them giving me these different nicknames. One was called Ack Quack. One was called Aqua Boogie. And we were some dancing fools. Me and my sisters and brothers in my community, we were some dancing fools. And me being shy and my mother didn't allow us to go to parties. She didn't allow us to go to parties very much. I remember going to a few. I probably can count them on my hands. It didn't happen too many times during those young days of growing up to 18. I remember getting a chance to go to a few parties, and I guess that's when they pegged me with the nickname Aqua Boogie. But as I grew up, my main nickname was AJ because I played sports. But I have the most precious memory of those dance contests that my older brother would let us have so we could win candy. And it was the Jackson 5s that was playing throughout my home all the time. I think I have a couple of souvenirs or whatever they want to call them that have the Jackson 5. I think it's a Jet magazine, and what else is it? I think I even have the 45, the record 45 of the Jackson 5s in my collection. I did have Michael Jackson album, but that got misplaced over the years. But a special thanks goes out to Janet Jackson. As I started to say, as I made my title in honor to her and her family and all her family members that are going through the death of Tito, my heart goes out to her family that that the Heavenly Father bless them in the days forward to find peace from the loss of their brother and loved one. There will be so much pain in the coming days, but the least that I could do was to make my title in honor of Janet Jackson for her bravery to speak truth to the fact that Kamala Harris is not black. So I made that title because Janet Jackson had the bravery to speak truth to power, evil, and money. Those three things. Janet Jackson opened her mouth and spoke truth to those three things: power, evil, and money. And it goes without saying that it was a lifeline for many of us to be able to bear witness to that in our lifetime. There have been many, many persons over the history of our lived experience that have shown bravery. There have been too many to count over the history of our life experience on this landmass called America. We speak about them constantly. Some names are more well known than others. So many, as I said, are too many to count. So I go back in my memory and I try to think of someone very, very special. But no one was more special than my mother. No one on this earth has been more special than my mother. My mother was and is my world. May she rest in peace. I know she's looking down on me and my brothers and sisters. And thank God